Video we'll be talking about the self-efficacy theory. The self-efficacy theory is also known as the social cognitive theory. So it refers to the individual belief that he or she is capable of performing a task. So the higher your self-efficacy, the more confidence you have in your ability to succeed in a task. So in difficult situation, we find the people with low self-efficacy are more likely to lessen their effort or give up altogether. So while those with high self-efficacy will try harder to master the challenge, so the individual high in self-efficacy seems to respond to negative feedback with increased effort and motivation. While the individual low in self-efficacy are likely to lessen their effort when given a negative feedback. So Albert Bandura argues that there are four ways in which the self-efficacy can be increased. The first one is the inactive mastery. Second one is the vicarious modeling. Third one is the verbal persuasion. And fourth one is the arousal. So we'll be discussing about each way in which the self-efficacy can be increased. So inactive mastery is gaining a relevant experience with a task or a job. So if I have been able to do the job successfully in the past, then I am more confident I'll be able to do it in future. For example, when you do a task for a first time, you may face so many difficulties. You may get stuck in the middle of the task. You cannot be able to complete the task within a stipulated time. You may face so many problems. So once you complete the job in a successful manner, so when the second time when you do the same task again, so you will get some knowledge, you will be able to know every nook and corners of the task. So once your job gets successfully completed, then it will create a confidence in you that you can able to do the task in future, and we can able to complete the task within an stipulated time. It is said to be an inactive mastery. The second one is the vicarious modeling. The vicarious modeling is nothing by becoming more confident because you see someone else doing the task. Because modeling is more effective when you see yourself similar to the person you are. So you will compare your performance with some other model. So if that person could be able to do the task or complete the work more successfully, why I can't be able to do it? So it will create a confidence. If he can able to do the work, I can also able to do it. It is said to be as a Wittgenstein model. That is, if he or she can do the task, why I can't do? Next one is the verbal perception. So which is becoming more confident because someone convinced you that you have the skill necessary to be successful. So it is nothing but when someone motivate you that you can able to do this task in a successful manner. If a motivational speaker use this tactic a lot. And final is the arousal. So Bandra argues that arousal increases self-efficacy. So this arousal leads to an energized stage which drives a person to complete the task. So the person gets physic up and performs better. But when this arousal is not relevant, then arousal it will hurt the performance. So if the task is something that requires a steadier, a lower key perceptive, arousal may infer it will hurt the performance. So the best way for the manager to use the verbal perception is through the Pygmalion effect or the Galatea effect. The Pygmalion effect is a form of a self-fulfilling prophecy where believing something to be true can make it true. So in this effect, the self-efficacy is increased by communicating to an individual teacher or the supervisor that the person is of high ability. So for example, studies were done where teachers were told their students had a very high IQ score. So consistent with the Pygmalion effect, teachers spend more time with the students they thought were smart, gave them more challenging assignments, and expected more of them. This also has been used in the organizational place also. So the Galatea effect occurs when high performance expectations are communicated directly to the employee. For example, sailors were told in a convincing manner that they would not get seasick. In fact, were much less likely to get seasick. So, it's all about the self-efficacy theory. And the next theory is the goal-setting theory. So this theory, the specific and difficult goal with feedback that will lead to a higher performance. So goals tell an employee what need to be done or how much effort need to be expended. The specific goal increases the performance, but a difficult goal, when it is accepted, it will result in higher performance than a easy goal. And when you get the feedback, for the difficult goal that you have achieved, it will lead to the higher performance than does non-feedback. So when you get the proper appreciation from your team members or the supervisor, so it leads to a more higher performance than the work that doesn't receive any feedback. So researchers, they have identified why people are motivated by difficult goals. So difficult goals direct out attention to the task at hand and away from irrelevant distraction. So when you carry out some difficult goal, you will be focusing your entire attention in order to complete the task in a successful manner. So when you are surely interested in doing that work, so it will avoid an irrelevant distraction that occurs that prevent you from doing that. So difficult goals energize individuals because they need to work harder to attain them. So in order to carry out the difficult goal in a successful manner, so continuously you need to work hard. You need to pay your entire attention in order to carry out the work in a successful manner. So when goals are difficult, people persist in trying to attain them. So goals lead us to discover strategy that help us perform job or task more effectively. So this goal setting theory is culture born. It's well adapted to countries like US as well as Canada because its key components align reasonably well in North American culture. So it assumes that employee will be reasonably independent, that managers and employees will seek challenging goals, and that performance is considered important by both. So the motivating power of goal setting theory has been demonstrated on over 100 tasks, which involves more than 40,000 participants. They belong to different kinds of industries, from lumber, the insurance company, automobile company, etc. So basically setting specific challenging goals for employee is the best thing that managers can do to improve their performance. Thank you.